I'm going to begin by using the Beauty Bakery baking oil. This is called Wake and Bake, and I've been trying this out underneath my foundations because that is what it's for, and I am loving it. It is making my skin look moisturized after I apply my foundation, even though I wear most of the time mainly matte foundations, and I tried it with the Maybelline Superstay and I loved it. That one's also a full coverage foundation, and today I'm trying it with an even thicker fuller coverage foundation. This one is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin, and I really like the way that it helped blend out my foundation because my skin underneath is just like a little bit more slippery, I guess you could say, but not in a bad way to where my makeup fades away or slides off or anything like that. Like, it doesn't move around. It just helps my foundation blend out easier, and I like the way that it looks after I'm done because even though it's a matte foundation, it makes it look dewy. So far the baking oil has been really good. Now I'm applying the it's a new concealer. This one is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Self-Setting Concealer, and I have it in the color 221. And I am also trying this out so that way I can give you guys a full review on it. And so far I'm liking the color. I'm also liking how easy it blends out, and also the coverage that it gives without it being a thick, pasty concealer. It's like really full coverage, but not thick and pasty, kind of like the Tarte Shape Tape. It's not like that at all. It's like kind of the opposite, but it still gives me that full coverage that I like. I'm also not going to be setting my concealer today because this is a self-setting concealer, and I have already tried it setting it and not setting it, and so I'm going to continue to use it until I give you guys the review and tell you a little bit more about it. But today I did not set it. I did, however, use my Hourglass Veil powder around it because I did set my foundation, because I do need to set my foundation for sure, because whenever I apply bronzer, blush, and all of that, it's really hard if I don't set my foundation. So I do like to set my foundation very lightly though, and like I said, I'm using the Veil translucent powder and just setting my foundation areas. Now you can see that I'm kind of getting close to the under eye area, but not baking or not exactly applying the powder there. So for bronzer first, I'm going to use this matte one. This one is the MACxPatrick Star Give Me Life bronzer, and I'm using a small contouring brush for that so that way I can get more precise on where I want this bronzer. I really like the color of it. It's very warm toned, and I decided today I also wanted a little bit of a glow. So I am going to use a bigger brush and apply this bronzer right here. This one's also by MAC, and this one is called Delphic. This is one of their extra dimension bronzing powders, and I really like it. I just went ahead and I applied that on top of the other bronzer that I already had. And like I said, it makes my skin look very glowy. Now what I'm going to do is clean up the bronzer area using that same powder that I had earlier and kind of bake that area, leave it on there for a little bit. And then for blush today, I'm using one from the Hourglass palette. This one is the pink one, the volume 4, and I'm using the purpley shade. And then for highlights, I'm also using an Hourglass one, and this one is the Unlocked palette. And it's the gold one, and that's the highlighter that it has in there, the intense one. And I'm applying that on the highlighting areas, my nose, my cheeks, my forehead, my cupid's bow, and just pretty much everywhere. I'm also going to go over it with my fingers so that way I can blend it out a little bit better, and it looks a little bit more it looks a little less powdery. All right, so now I'm just removing the baking powder that I had right there with a brush. Okay, so now I'm going to use this very beautiful palette. This one is the Flair Palette by Ace Beaute. And I have also been using this one because I'm going to show you a review on it. First, I'm setting my concealer and I use the translucent powder. Now I'm going to use this very beautiful yellow shade. It's like a mustardy yellow shade. I'm applying that in the transition area and a little bit above just to kind of blend it towards my brow. I'm using the Morphe M514. This brush fits perfectly in the transition area of my hooded eyes, and it's just like the perfect size for me, so I'm just applying that there and blending it out little by little. It doesn't take that much to build up these colors. They are pretty much true to the way that they look in the palette, and they are gorgeous. This one is the burnt orange shade, and I'm applying this with the Jaclyn Hill JH40 brush. This one gets a little bit more precise in my crease. It's a little bit smaller, it's a little bit more pointy, and so I wanted it right there in the crease area. I'm also going to blend it into the yellow. I'm just taking the other brush and a little bit of yellow eyeshadow and blending that out. Okay, so now I'm going to use my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and apply the purple shade. I'm going to concentrate this shade on the crease area because I want it to intensify the crease after I apply my next shade. I just want that to be right there in the middle. Not like the orange shade, just very precise on my crease. So that's why I'm taking a tiny little pencil brush and applying a little bit more of the purple. So I'm going to go back to the burnt orange shade and blend out the purple. And for that, I'm using, again, the e.l.f. brush. This is the eye crease brush. And going over it with the blending brush that I used earlier just to blend everything out. I'm not adding any more product. Now I'm going to use the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer and directly apply that on my eyes to kind of create like a cut crease shape, but I'm not using concealer to carve it out or anything. This is just very easy because of the applicator. I'm taking off the excess primer and then going in with this shimmery orange shade all over the eyelid. I think this is a really easy way to kind of create a cut crease without actually going in there and carving it out. It's just super easy with this eyeshadow primer. And this shade is so nice. Looks very pretty, very shimmery on the eyelid. So I'm just removing some fallout because I did get some. And I'm going to go in with the color Moss, which is this beautiful green, and apply that on the lower lash line. For my waterline, I'm using this NYX Wonder Pencil in the color Medium, and I didn't want to apply black today, so I just went with a nude shade there. I'm going to curl my eyelashes and add the Smashbox Superfan Mascara on my top lashes, and I'm also going to use this one for my lower lashes. For falsies, I'm using these by Ray Beauty, and these are kind of dramatic, but in a natural looking way. Like they're really, really long, and you can tell that they're there, but they're not like super dramatic. These are in the style Raylan, and I went ahead and I applied the Urban Decay waterline pencil on the top so that way it can blend into my falsies. And then I'm going in with this highlighter on the inner corner as well as my brow bone, just to finish off the look, give it a little bit more of a shimmer. And of course I'm applying that on my chest and my shoulders so that way I can give it a little bit more of a glow. And then for my lips, I'm using this one by I was going to say Dose of Colors. No, by Sugar Pill. And it's a very pretty mauve purple shade. I felt it went fine. So this is the complete look. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know if you would like to see more looks using this palette. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.